It's a book haul, bitches! Sometimes I actually put effort into dressing to match the theme of the video. Sometimes. Part of the whole moving to another country thing, as much as I love my books, I have indefinitely given them to my brother and sister. When I left Wellington, I let myself take 3 books. The first was the book that I was currently reading. The second was a book that I hadn't read, but it was small enough that I could easily fit it in the pocket of my bag. The third book was the book that I got last year from the operating library. With only 3 books left in my possession, I left the country, but now I have... hang on. 6! I have 6 books now. Doubled my collection in the space of 3 weeks for a cost of about £10. The book that I returned to the operating library at VidCon was The Memory Keeper's Daughter, which I really wish it had been longer because I would have quite happily read double the length of that book. I found it very interesting. The book that I left behind in Auckland was called Through a Glass Darkly, a period drama fiction set in England in the 1700s, which isn't the sort of thing I would normally read, and I enjoyed it, but I feel it missed out on the most dramatic bits of the story. The book that I hadn't read that I brought with me was Gunslinger by Stephen King, which is the first in the Dark Tower series, which is being made into a film. This is a special revised and extended edition, which has an introduction and foreword by the author, lots of good discussion and insight and stuff that wasn't in the original release. I finished it on Sunday? Yes. Possibly while I was at Sitsy. I was reading this while I was waiting in lines for panels, and I was very glad to have this because I spent a lot of time waiting in line for panels. While I was at VidCon, I acquired 3 new books. First of which I got from the operating library in exchange for the book that I returned. That book is The Amulet of Samarkand by Jonathan Stroud, the first book in a multi-part series. I haven't started reading this one at all yet. It's just so sparkly, look at it. That is part of why I chose it, I will admit. The other 2 books that I got at VidCon were from the Blind Date Book Swap, which was run by Christina Horner and Joe, whose last name escapes me at this moment. The idea of a blind date book swap is you take a book and you wrap it in paper, you write on it a few basic facts about the book, give you a taste of what it is without necessarily giving away the exact title. The first of those books I've already read and I really enjoyed it, and it is Graceling by Kirsten Kishore. This book is super great. It takes the idea of gifted youths and takes it in a way that it hasn't really been done before. I will be keeping an eye out for the other 2 books in this series. I cannot wait to learn more about the world that this book takes place in. The second book is called Clary L by Garth Nix, who I believe I've read stuff from before. I read the prologue to this while I was waiting for a panel. It's looking interesting so far, and I'm excited to see what the dragon on the cover has to do with the story. Ooh. I didn't just come away from Sitsy with learning, I came away with 2 books for £10. The first is Paperweight by Meg Heston. I was immediately drawn to this. I absolutely love the cover art on this book. The second book is Fearsome by Laura Eve. Don't hate me if I said your name wrong, I'm sorry. It looks like a circuit board. How cool is that? I read another book earlier this year called Dream Hunter, another dream-based fiction novel. I find that topic really interesting, and I'm looking for more and more books in that sort of vein. When I saw this, I thought, perfect. The booth that I got these from is called Hot Key Books. On the back of their books, it tells you what themes or emotions are dealt with in the books, which I think is a great thing for a book to have. You know what you're getting into without spoiling too much of the story. You can know if that's not something you're prepared to deal with, step away and find something else for you. But you can also mentally prepare yourself. Okay, this is what this book is going to give me. That's what I need to be ready for. That is all for the book haul. If you are interested in purchasing any of the books that I showed you, you can do so with the book depository link down in the description. Every book that you buy, a little bit of it goes back towards me, so I can buy more books and tell you about them and tell you to buy them. And it's a great big book buying circle.